So next, Professor Vimal Kumar Mishra sir is going to give his presentation on transmission behavior of COVID-19. So as a professional experience, he did his MSc in Operation Research from University of Delhi and MSc in Mathematics from Vinoba Bhave University. He did his PhD from Vinoba Bhave University itself and DSc from Berhampur University. Uh, he served as a faculty member in BITS Pilani from 2001 to 2007 and in BIT Mitra from 2007 to 2017, and currently he is principal of Markham College of Commerce, Hazaribagh. He is fellow of Royal Astronomical Society UK and Institute of Mathematics and Application UK. He is founder-in-chief of International Journal of Mathematical Modeling, Simulation and Application, and he is associate editor of International Journal of Information Technology and Computer Science and International Journal of Smart Computing and Information Technology. So I request Professor B.K. Mishra sir to just give his presentation on COVID-19. Okay, sir?
Yes, very good afternoon, Dr. Ashish and Dr. Prashad. And also, I was hearing Professor Datti. It was nice to hear him after a long interval of a time. And really, I also learned a lot from his lecture and more to explore on the recent work that what he just told in the last, that when the population is migrating, then how we can consider this. That is a big challenge to the modelers. In fact, it is very true also. And I will be just sharing these ideas. First, I will start with COVID-19, some of the history of the pandemic diseases, and later on the characteristic behavior of corona. And then I will come to the three stages. I have three different models on corona. And these models, what I'm going to present in front of you, is recently published in Chaos, Solitons and Fractals. And it's so in fact, when we speak about corona, so right from Anthony plague, that was in 165 AD, the present coronavirus 2019 always have created some disaster to the humankind. And what I have the data with me as per the present day data, it says that around 216 countries.
Project your screen, sir.
When necessary, I will come to the screen.
Okay, sir.
Then I will share it. Okay. So, as far as 216 countries, as per the latest data of 23rd June 2020 is considered, 216 countries having an infected cases of 91,92,000 with 4,75,000 cases of death, and it shows the disaster. Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to hear you.
Yes, sir. It is audible.
Yeah, and as far as India is considered, till date, till morning, around 4,40,000 cases are positive infected and 14,015 deaths are there, with a recovered rate of, in fact, 2,48,000 people have recovered from this specific disease. So in India, the recovery rate is pretty good. And in fact, how dangerous is this virus that we have to come into? We have to think this into consideration, how in fact this dangerous is. So the transmission rate are not the number of infected people from a single case, the case fatality rate, and whether we can determine that if symptomatic transmission is possible or not. These in fact determine the virus dangerous. So WHO estimated that R0 is between 1.4 and 2.5. That was in the very initial phase. But as per the latest data of WHO and as per the spread of the disease in the different part of the globe, R0 is estimated between 1.5 and 3.5. And as all of us know, since we are discussing on epidemiology, if R0 is less than 1, gradually the disease is going to disappear. But as far as we just compare this disease with SARS, and here in SARS, the common flu, the reproduction number was around 2. So on an average reproduction number when it was 2, so what we observe in the initial phases of China and the European countries and latest in US, the R0 in fact number has gradually increased, and it has started from 2.7 and now it is 3.12. So as far as this pandemic is concerned, so we try to understand that what in fact COVID-19 spreads. It primarily spreads through the droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose when an infected person coughs or sneezes. So that is one of the basic symptom, or that is what when we model a particular physical situation. So as a modeler and all of us in fact try to understand the transmitting behavior, the biology, the physics behind the spread of the disease. So this plays an important role. As far as the pandemic disease is concerned, what I told in the very beginning, that the first recorded evidence of the pandemic was Anthony plague. And in fact, it is also said to be plague of Galen. And as in fact, it spread, infected the Asia Minor, some portions of Egypt, Italy, Greece. And later on, it was termed as smallpox or measles. And the worst part of this pandemic was that it in fact killed over more than 5 million people across the globe. So it was one of the most disastrous pandemic in the history, human history. And then around in between many of the countries, small epidemic occurred. But the second evidence which occurred was in the 6th century, around 540 and so. So in fact, around 541, 542, there was plague of Justinian. And in fact, it was also said to be a bubonic plague. And in fact, it killed around 25 million people across the globe. So this, in fact, was one of the another disaster which happened to the humankind. And then we come to the middle part of the history. I don't want to go the entire history of the pandemic plague, but one of the latest of the plagues which occurred was scientifically said to be the flu pandemic, which had in fact also said to be the Asiatic flu or the Russian flu. And it was in the late of the 19th century. And it was thought to be an outbreak of influenza A virus subtype and H2N2, which is referred as. And this, in fact, was one of the latest of the epidemic disease, rather pandemic, which had occurred in recent time of the modern world. And since then, many of other cholera and plagues happened. But when we come across 100 years back, then between 1918 and 20, there was again a flu pandemic, and 25 million people across the globe died due to this, and 500 million people was infected by this disease. So it was one of in the 20th century, the early 20th century had this type of pandemic. And then HIV/AIDS came, that I don't want to discuss. But as far as the coronavirus history is concerned, so in fact, it has a history of around 50 years back. And in 1965, Tyrrell and Bnoy, they found a virus passage named as B814. So this B814, it was in fact found in human embryonic tracheal organ cultures, and it was obtained from the respiratory tract of adult with a common cold. And then after that, 5 human coronaviruses appeared since 2003. And then, as per the latest 2002 to 2003 SARS emerged. That was a severe acute respiratory syndrome. And this also originated from the southern part of China and spread throughout the world. SARS epidemic, in fact, put the animal coronavirus in spotlight. That is very important, remarkable. So this SARS epidemic, when it was animal coronavirus, and in the last 20 years, there were several viral epidemics such as severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, that is said to be the SARS, and H1N1 influenza in 2009. And latest in 2012, the other part was said to be the MERS coronavirus, that is the Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus, and it was first identified in Saudi Arabia in 2012. So we have to understand the history of coronavirus, where it originated and how it came into picture. And this SARS coronavirus, in fact, the death was not too much, and 800 death was recorded, which began in Saudi Arabia. And WHO, in fact, then very late, as far as this coronavirus is concerned, COVID-19, they very, and I think that in the middle of February 2020, the Director General, in fact, he pronounced that this disease, in fact, is pandemic in nature. It was very late decision by WHO. So where this corona name appeared. So corona is a Latin word which means crown. And this crown refers to its characteristic appearance, where its surface is covered in the form of club-shaped protein spikes. And therefore, this name is, if you see the figure of coronavirus, so that will be very clear that it is appearing like a club-shaped. So everybody is just observing the figure of coronavirus and all. So this is a Latin word, what it means to say. So basically, when we speak about the transmission to humans, so therefore the bats to animals and animals to humans. But the surprising factor is that history, we don't have any scientific evidence till date that the coronavirus, the latest COVID-19, the transmission is in between the animals. There's a transmission in between the human beings. So bat to humans, bat to animals, animals to human was the transmission of this specific disease. So the basic reason why these animal coronavirus do not cause the symptom in the host reservoir, what I feel that they continuously co-evolve. These animals continuously co-evolve and adapt over a long period of time with the reservoir host. And therefore the symptoms are mild. And even if they show that it's not too much acute in nature, they're mild. And as far as you have to understand the symptoms of humans, birds, and animals, they are different symptoms. So if we just consider birds, the symptoms of this coronavirus in birds, it causes the upper respiratory tract infection. But while as the animals, it is considered, for example, in cows and pigs, it results in diarrhea. So, and in humans, it causes respiratory tract infection, and it would the common cold comes into picture. So the high infection rate, the recombination rate, and the mutation rate of these animal coronavirus increases the probability of mutants' ability to transmit to another host. So Dr. Prasad, while you are just putting a query to Professor Datti, was that whether prey-predator model can be taken into consideration or not. So rightly pointed out by Professor was that it's a very good example by what we can use the prey-predator model here, because the symptoms we have to understand, because the infection rate, the recombination rate, the mutation rate of these animal coronavirus, they increases the probability of mutants' ability to transmit into another host. So prey-predator model, in fact, is going to play a very critical role for developing for, in fact, understanding the transmitting behavior. But as far as we are very much concerned these days on the human population, because it's widely affected, and in the animals it is not so much. It's mild. Even we cannot understand that because the symptoms are for a long period of time, and with the reservoir host and they're mild, so we are not able to understand that in animals what type of this disease can happen. So prey predator, in fact, is going to play a very critical role when we develop a model and all. So the earlier form of the coronavirus was, I told, SARS and MERS were lethal, but they were not able to transmit in exponential manner, just what COVID-19 did. So that was a big question for all the scientific people. And what in fact are the symptoms? Because as far as the transmitting behavior is concerned, because the modelers always try to see that what is the transmitting behavior of these viruses in the human population. So we first of all try to understand the symptoms what we are having. So it is a respiratory disease, and most infected people develop mild to moderate symptoms, and they recover without having any specific treatment, because we don't have such a medical facility these days. We don't have vaccines, are still under research is going on to develop. So recovery without special, I'm speaking about the medicines which are going to be provided to the person who are infected by the disease. So that is not happening, but only the prevention, what Professor also told in the beginning, that they need the home isolation or the hospital quarantine, they have to take into consideration. So these special treatment are required for the recovery of this disease. But those having age of 60 years and above and have a higher risk of developing severe diseases and death also. And the common symptoms which include is fever, tiredness, dry cough, maybe shortness of breath, aches and pains, maybe having throat infection, and very, very rare people, in fact, in country like Italy and some European part of the country have reported diarrhea, nausea, or runny nose. So in different geographical domain, we do the overall, if you see the population, the symptoms, then in fact it is just the breathing problem, and the upper respiratory tract is being infected by this. So, but very few cases in Europe have reported for diarrhea for this specific disease. So, when we speak about the very first case of COVID-19, so all of us know that Yunnan seafood wholesale market of Wuhan, Republic of China, it was an animal to human transmission, was in fact presumed as the main mechanism. Nevertheless, subsequent cases were not associated with this exposure mechanism. So we concluded the virus could be transmitted from human to human, and symptomatic people are the most frequent sources of COVID-19 spread. So why I told this, because the Yunnan seafood wholesale market was in fact the primary place where the disease is spread. So animal to human transmission was possibility was taken into consideration, and later on human to human and symptomatic peoples were considered for this. So when we in fact had the analysis for all those, so we do consider that what we had taken that the median time for exposure to the symptoms suggest that 14-day quarantine period. In fact, it was being used by the USCDS, that is the US Center for Disease Control. And they say that the 14-day quarantine period will be clear. And that also was in our paper. We have analyzed this with 97.5% of confidence, that with 95% of confidence interval we have taken. So our analysis suggests that around 97.5% of the people who developed the symptoms of this coronavirus to SARS-CoV-2 infection will do so within 11.5 days of exposure. That was our of the people who have developed the symptoms. And for every 10,000 individuals quarantined for 14 days, only about 101 would develop symptoms after being released from quarantine. So that was a very good analysis. So it was stressed. Stressed across the globe that more we quarantine, the more is the recovery, because that was the analysis from WHO also. So if we are going to isolate ourselves from the normal population from 14 days, then out of 10,000 individuals, only about 101 would develop symptoms after being released from quarantine. So it is a good recovery here. So we try to, I just want to share the slides right now. We have 3 different stages of COVID-19. So that's what I want to show. So the 3 stages of this COVID-19 that has the first stage, we have developed 3 different models based on these 3 different stages. So they are the first stage is the imported cases. I hope that we are able to see the slide. So the first stage is that imported cases, where those who travel to other countries have contracted the infection. So 3 different stages, and we have developed models on these 3 different stages. I'm not going to discuss on the local and the global stability because the professor have already given about this analysis part. I will try to develop a model on these 3 different stages. The first stage is that imported cases, where those who travel to other countries have contracted the infection. That means people where this disease in fact spread from China to Europe, China to Iran, China to US. So these were the foreign cases where the people in fact they started traveling from one source to the other destination, and the disease had spread after contacting those people. The second stage is the local transmission, in which people coming in immediate contact of an infected person report the infection. And third is the community transmission, when a person who has no travel history has contracted through domestic sources. And the fourth stage, that is an explosive stage. So there are several type of comments coming on from government also. And the latest report from ICMR director that India has not yet entered into community transmission, that is stage 3. But countries in US, many states united, and many of the European countries, in fact, have already entered the community transmission. But in India, as far as the official comment was there, there's no, India has not yet developed this community transmission. So, but when we speak about the imported cases, therefore first I come to the imported case. So what in fact is the case here? I here stress on the immigrant population.
Sir,
so immigrant population.
Your slides, we are not seeing the full screen, sir.
Okay, they are not in the full screen. Okay.
Not in a presentation mode.
So it's not in the full screen. Okay. So so are you able to see the full? Are you able to see the full screen?
No, sir. It's not. It's normal PowerPoint window only we are seeing, not the presentation mode.
Okay. So However, I can make it into the full screen, but we are not able to see the full screen. Okay, so
Sir, check at the bottom.
Sir,
Check at the
you
bottom.
can, sir, you can first go to, you can disable your sharing. First, go to full screen, then try to
yeah, I
share
have
the full
disabled
screen
the
windows.
sharing. I have made it into the full screen.
Yeah.
I have made it into the full screen.
Yeah. Now you'll see the two windows. You see the open the full screen window, sir. You can share the full screen window now. Presentation window.
Yeah, that is what I am making it. Huh? That is why I am making it like this only. So
yeah, now it came, sir. Yes.
Now you are able to see it?
Yeah, now we are able to see
yes,
it.
Sir.
Okay. Okay. So what in fact, when I speak about immigrant population, I'm discussing on the first part on the second stage, the second and the first stage. We have taken into consideration a population said to be immigrant population. That it is the international movement of people to a destination country of which they are not natives or they do not possess citizenship in order to settle or reside this. A special permanent residence or naturalized citizens or to take up employment as a migrant worker or temporarily as a foreign worker. So here we have to understand we are not considering the case just which has happened during lockdown 4. In lockdown 4, the labels were immigrant there. So they were in fact traveling from one part of the country to the another part of the country, and the disease and some of them had positively infected laborers were there, and they in fact used to come to the other part of the country, and from there the disease is going to spread to the local residents. Here, in the very first stage, if you came from which were the person who were positively infected, so they were in touch with those cases. So here we are considering immigrant population for those population which are coming from the other country to our country, in which most of them or many of them were positively infected. So this is the case of immigrant population. This must not be considered for those population who are traversing the same country from Maharashtra, Gujarat, and from other people who are coming to the eastern part of the country. We are not taking into consideration those population. So in stage 1, we are considering this immigrant population like this. The second part is when we hear as the home isolation, that is the model in which we consider is the home isolation, that is Q1T. So as already discussed in the previous lecture, that isolation in fact plays a very important role. And in the 18th century, it was one of the first, when we had the plague in human population, the first medical treatment was of the home isolation. They were not home isolation, they were separated from the population. The population which are suffering from cholera, plague, they were in fact isolated from the population, and specific treatment was given to them. But here home isolation was that the restriction of the movement or the separation of well persons who are susceptible or possibly exposed to the contagious disease before it is known whether they will become ill. So isolation usually takes place in the home and may be applied at the individual level or to group of community, susceptible or exposed population. So home isolation population we had considered in our model, in the very first model. So that is what, and the second is your, when we speak about that is the hospital quarantine. So hospital quarantine was also taken. So this hospital quarantine is the QT2 model, and this in fact is the restricted movement of the ill persons who have COVID-19, and in order to prevent its transmission to others. So it typically occurs in a hospital setting, but under very special cases may be done at home under a very special facility. Usually individuals are quarantined, but the practice may be applied in larger groups. So these two things we are well conversant with, that is the home isolation and hospital quarantine. So in lockdown 1, 2, 3 and 4, when we are speaking about these all 4 lockdowns, so till then we had hospital home quarantine, that is we were isolated from the population, the group of the population, restricted movement was there. So we did take this home isolation into picture, and those who were suffering, they were positively detected, they were subjected to hospital quarantine. And as already told that the recovered population is there, the population who recovered from COVID in fact 19. So when we are speaking about this, so what happens that these important part of the first stage, we did take into consideration all the 6 populations, that is the susceptible population, the immigrant population, the home isolation population, the hospital quarantine, the recovered population. So all these 6 classes were taken into consideration. So when we speak about these things, then what in fact this in the what happens that, as already discussed, that in the absence of vaccination and proper treatment, we had 2 control policies, the force control policy named as home isolation and hospital quarantine, and these in fact across the globe were properly being followed. So this is what the diagrammatic representation of the first stage is considered. That is the imported cases where those who travel to other countries have contracted the infection. So if you do see, we have the susceptible population. This immigrant population E is playing a critical role. So these immigrant people, that is the population who has come from the foreign countries and in which a group of the population has positively infected. So the group of the people who were positively infected, or those who were having the symptoms of COVID-19, they were subjected to the isolation, that is the forced isolation, home quarantine. And they are subjected to 14-day home isolation. And this immigrant population, who in fact the symptom was not there too much, they mixed with this susceptible population. So, and also the susceptible, when they came to their home, or they were in fact subjected to having a contact between the other group of the population, that is the susceptible population. So this immigrant population, in fact, they were in touch with the normal population also, those who didn't show a clear-cut symptom. So in the very first stage, it was not so rigid. It was, in fact, the rigidity was not there. And therefore, what we observed that the disease transmitted in the population, but it was not too much as what we observe these days. So the very first initial stage, they were in touch with the susceptible population. Those who were having some symptom, they were subjected to forced isolation, that is the home isolation. These home isolation people were also in touch with the susceptible population. So the susceptible population, in fact, due to this immigrant population, they were in fact they were in close touch with the immigrant population, and at a rate alpha 1, this immigrant population, a proportion of the immigrant population was in contact with the susceptible population. And this immigrant population were home isolated with a rate alpha 2. So a proportion of the population of the immigrant was in fact home isolated. And the home isolation population, that particular people or the group of the person who are home isolated with a rate epsilon, they in fact were in touch with the susceptible population. So what happened? This susceptible population, a portion of those immigrant and the home isolated people were in touch, and they in fact with the rate beta, they became infected. A group of them became infected. A proportion of the susceptible population became infectious due to these contacts. And the home isolation Q1 population at a rate delta, when they were having a positive symptom, or those who were declared that no, they require hospital treatment, having some breathing problems, having some other serious acute problems, they were diagnosed and they were subjected to, they were in fact infectious, highly infectious, and they were subjected to hospital quarantine Q2 at a rate eta. So this was in fact the Q2 population. And the immigrant population, people who were traveling from the other part of the country, other part of and they were in fact showing the positive nature of the symptom, who were positively infected, and though were showing acute problem, they were directly subjected to hospital quarantine at a rate 1 minus alpha 1 minus alpha 2. So this in fact was the hospital quarantine. So the immigrant population E, those who are having the acute problem, showing positive symptoms, were subjected to hospital quarantine directly Q2. But those who were having a mild type of seriousness, they were subjected to home isolation for 14 days. But the immigrant people who in fact was not showing any symptom, and though it was a hidden, means it was not totally reflected, so they in fact mixed with the susceptible population. These were the initial cases just during lockdown 1 or just at the very beginning before lockdown 1 also. So and these home quarantine people also were in close touch with the susceptible group of people. So these susceptible group of people, due to the contact with these home isolated people, they were having they had shown some symptom, they were infectious, and then they finally were the group of those people at a rate eta, they were subjected to hospital quarantine. And with the proper medication, I can say I cannot use the word medication right now because no vaccine is developed yet, but due to the ventilation or due to their total isolation, total preventive measures, what they have taken into consideration, these proportion of the population were recovered. So here we do consider two types of deaths. One is the natural death rate, that is mu1, that is being taken into consideration both in all the three cases, then the three compartments, that is the S compartment, E compartment, and Q1 compartment. They were all natural. If somebody dies in that specific compartment, that is in the susceptible population, immigrant population, or the home isolation population, the death were natural in nature. But once they get infected or they were subjected to hospital quarantine, then there may be a natural death or there may be death due to COVID-19. That death rate was considered as mu2. And finally, when a proportion of the population got recovered, what we find in case in India, where 50% or 51% of the cases are recovered. So this particular recovery, the natural death rate is mu1. So this is in fact the whole model, what we have taken into stage 1, that is the imported cases. And then we have the differential equation for this. But before we have the differential equation, we do consider here two different types of birth rate. One is the natural birth death in the susceptible population, which we have added, that is B. And another what we have taken into consideration, that is A. A is again the birth of the immigrant population. Many people are arriving towards this particular population. The addition is there. So that positive case we have taken here, and that we have considered as A here. In the very initial phase of the COVID-19, there were reports that specifically in country in Italy and Spain, that a pregnant woman who was suffering from COVID-19 that had given birth to a child who in fact also suffered from COVID-19. But There was also a lot of press reporting and many other things, but there is no scientific evidence till date about the vertical transmission of the disease. That is, a pregnant woman suffering from the disease, the birth, the newborn baby, in fact, they are not in fact infected by the disease. There is no vertical transmission which is scientifically established as per the latest report. But if the preventive measures are not taken for the newborn baby, then the disease may be contracted. But there is no genetic evidence right till date about the vertical transmission from one generation to the next generation. So as far as the newborn baby is considered. So we did consider here the birth in the susceptible population and the birth in the immigrant population. And thus we have the system of the equations for this. We have 6 classes. That is, we have the rate of susceptibility, rate of the immigrant population, rate of infectivity, rate of the home isolation population. We have DQ2 by DT, that is the hospital quarantine, and rate of recovery. So when in fact we do consider the system of OD, what we have observed. So on the basis of all these, because equilibrium conditions and when we try to find the production number from the Jacobian matrix, so it is a 6x6 matrix, and based on all this calculation, we are able to find out the reproduction number to be like this. So I'm not going to go into the Jacobian matrix and all, because professor already had explained in his beginning how to get the reproduction number for this case. So on the basis of this reproduction number, a very important parameter for epidemics, if it is less than 1, that disease dies out, and greater than 1, then in fact it is epidemic or the disease is there. So in country like India, in the present scenario, the reproduction number in fact has escalated to 2.85 as per the latest scientific evidence. So it may even cross 3 also, because the what we observe that the immigration of the population is there, and it is a big challenge that when the population is mixing from the one part of the country to the other part of the country, then what type of models or what mixing population we should take into consideration is a big question. However, we will try our level best to take this into consideration. We are developing paper on it, and that will be on the 3 part, that is, we'll be using the deep learning and the artificial intelligence technique, and also the mathematical model, and try to get a very good example of very good mixing for this. So these are not what we have observed. I'm not going into detail, neither the local or the global stability what we have proved. However, we have used the geometrical approach to show the global stability. So this was the very first model, and then we come to the second model. The second model, in fact, is about the second stage. That is the local transmission, in which people coming in immediate contact of an infected person, they reported infection. So this is the local transmission. We didn't hear the immigrant population has arrived, but they are not going to mix with the susceptible population. Once they have come, that is the lockdown phase 2 was there, 2 and 3, and lockdown 2, 3, and some part of lockdown 4. However, when we did consider the cases of Maharashtra, Gujarat, and also in Delhi, then there in the latest report, what we are observing these days, however, the government has ruled out about the community transmission, but in many of the we can say in the slums areas, the community transmission possibility cannot be ruled out. So stage 3 in many of the US and European countries, stage 3 was the case, and possibility of ruling out totally in country like India for many of the states has to be again seriously thought over it. Because it is the case which is being reported day-to-day analysis is being what it is being coming out is throwing light or reflection on stage 3, that is community transmission. However, officially it has been reported that there is no community transmission in country like India presently. Therefore, we do accept this because ICMR director has already given this statement 4 or 5 days back. So this is the second stage what we are having in lockdown. This had in fact started in country in lockdown 2, 3, and in lockdown 4 in the middle, this stage 2 was was up to a particular restricted zone, but after means just before lockdown 4 and unlockdown 1, this had exploded like anything. So this is the second stage where local transmission was there, and the people in fact they were in immediate contact. So we did consider all the 6 population here, but the immigrant people who had come here were being subjected to forcefully home isolated for 14 days. And the corona warriors, they have played a critical role for minimizing the spread in the local population. And the whole area was sealed out if any positive cases were found out. So the corona warriors who were in contact with those infected people, they in fact got infected, and also people who were in touch with those positively infected cases, they were also subjected to that specific disease. So we did consider here the second stage, and what you do observe here in the second case, we did have all the 6 compartments here, but the immigrant population were directly subjected to home isolation forcibly. And this was Q1. They were home isolated with the rate alpha 2, and they were not in contact with the normal population. Once they in fact had entered the country, they were subjected to home isolation. And then those who are showing acute case, those who are showing positive cases, they got infected. A proportion of the population of the home isolation at a rate delta, they were subjected to infectious cases, and they were subjected to hospital quarantine at a rate eta. So the exposed for the immigrant population were not directly subjected to, were not mixing with the normal population. They had, if you do remember, there were stamps put in their hand that they are home quarantine. That means they are not subjected to get themselves mixed with the susceptible population, which was in the first case. So this is the local transmission. And this, in fact, the corona warriors, that is the susceptible corona warriors, they were in fact in touch, the doctors, the nurses, or the hospital people, they were in touch with these home quarantine or the people who were forcibly isolated in the quarantine center. So in the quarantine center, many of them were those who were the people who were supposed to take care of these quarantine centers. So they were exposed towards that particular diseases and got infected with a rate beta. And then those who are having positive symptom and those who were acute, those who are having acute cases were subjected to hospital quarantine at a rate eta. But now the policies have changed. 14 days they were subjected to home quarantine, and but nowadays we just when we go through the reports, then they say that 5 days they are subjected to quarantine center, and if they show mild type of symptoms, then they can in fact directly go to home. So this explosion spread, which I want to stress very much. So if you do not, because what is happening these days, when we hear or when we go through the evidence, scientific evidence, and also to the media reports which are coming out. So what we observe, 5 days only the quarantine is there. Somewhere they say, no, you go to home isolation, and they are subjected to, I'm speaking about unlockdown phase 1. So, and even in the lockdown phase 4 in the last particular area, last particular phase. So hospital quarantine was not made these days when cities like Delhi, Mumbai, so these are having hospital crowding there. So they are only admitting those people who are severe in nature, and other people they are going towards their home, and also in quarantine center only 5 days. So the exposure, the transmission of the disease, they are not making preventive measures, precautionary measures are not well taken into account, and the disease is spreading like anything in the population. So and this is going to lead to community transmission number 3. So stage number 3. So this is the very acute phase what we are living these days. So the prediction what we have forecasted using some test, some non-parametric hypothesis we have taken due to lack of some data in our country. We have used the Kruskal-Wallis test, and on the basis of this we are able to say that we are able to predict that in country like India, where just after phase 4 and in the lockdown particular area, when this unlockdown has happened and the people are merging with each other in the susceptible population without having a home quarantine of 14 days, and they are exposing the disease, and the death in fact and the positive cases may even lead to 4.85 lakhs. So that is a finding. However, we are not going to here expose this. So this is the second stage model where the immigrant population is not in direct touch with the susceptible population. They are going to home quarantine, and in this home quarantine, they are in touch with the corona warriors and many other hospital people, the police personnel which are taking care of the quarantine center. They get in touch with these home isolation people, and they are in the quarantine center. They are subjected to positive infection, and then with the rate eta, if the severe disease occur, if the acute symptoms occur, they are subjected to hospital quarantine Q2, and the rate of recovery here again is R, which is in India around 50.25%. So with the rate gamma, they are being recovered. So this is the second stage what we have modeled, and this again we have published this paper in Chaos, Solitons and Fractals. That is the 3 quarantine models. The paper name is 3 quarantine models for COVID-19. So based on this, we have the system of OD again, and this is the what we have found out. This on the basis of the 6x6 matrix, we are able to find out the reproduction number using a Wheelworth method. And this reproduction number for this particular model is this. So now when we speak about the community transmission, that is the worst case in US and Italy, a very good example for the control of the transmission of COVID-19 across the globe was a country in South Korea and Japan, which had in fact taken a lot of preventive measures. Lockdown was in a very later stage in South Korea, but prevention was at a very highest level. So the transmission was not too much in that population. But in country like US and Europe, very specifically Italy, Spain, Germany, Britain, and specifically in country in Italy and Spain and in many of the states in USA, this community transmission was there. So community transmission, rule out possibility cannot be done in Iran also, because that was also a disaster phase. Later on it was controlled. But this stage 3, we are at the verge of stage 3. Officially not, but the way in which the disease is transmitting in the population, and which the immigrant laborers are moving from one state to the other state, and preventive measures. And because if you see outside the world, if we just go to the market, we see that the prevention has not gone now. The fear has gone. People think that there is no COVID-19 now. So we are now at a community transmission these days. So community transmission, we are at the verge. And this is in fact a particular case what we want to prevent. But at the very same time, economics also of the country has to be taken into consideration. Therefore, this unlocked down one has happened, and maybe more relaxation is coming these days. But we cannot rule out the possibility of community transmission in a country like India. So it is the last stage where it can be controlled with great efforts. Otherwise, in the last stage, it is an uncontrolled epidemic disaster. That is what we have seen in US and many of the European countries. Russia is also in stage 2. Brazil has entered into stage number 3. India is at the verge of stage 3. So this, in fact, in stage 3, we are not considering any immigrant population. There is no international travel these days. However, only people who were outside, they were supposed to come in. So here we didn't consider immigrant population because here community transmission is there. And people do not have any travel history. Even if you are at your home or if you have gone to market, you don't have any travel history. The disease may spread to you if proper prevention or precautionary measures are not taken. So immigrant population is no more present in this particular stage, and only community transmission is there, and people do not have any travel history, and they have contracted the disease through domestic sources. So many of the countries, they don't have any recent international travels. So when we come to this, the last stage, so disease is spreading from one person to another through direct contact. And in the absence of vaccination and proper treatment, we had already told that there are 2 force control policies. That is the home isolation and hospital quarantine. And in almost all parts of the country, to minimize the spread of the epidemics, these 2 force control are taken into account. So here we don't take into account the immigrant compartment. We leave it because this is the people who are suffering from COVID-19. They do not have travel history. They have contracted the disease through the infected people. And it's not necessary through whom I have got infection. That particular group or the individual person also do not have any travel history. So that is the part of stage 3 because it's already restricted. So this is what the model for stage 3 is. We have 5 compartments that is susceptible: home isolation, the infectious class, the hospital quarantine, and the recovered cases. So proportion of the susceptible population goes to home isolation or the quarantine center, and they in fact they do not have any domestic sources, any positive symptom. If they are having, they are subjected to the infectious compartment. They are having a serious. We do consider the case in Delhi if we do take this particular scenario. So what is happening? People are subjected to home quarantine even if they are showing some symptom. They are positively having some breathing problem or having a fever. So they are subjected to infectious class. But those who are showing acute cases means high fever, high breathing problem, the lungs in fact are got choked. So they are subjected to hospital quarantine only. That is at a rate eta, they are going to hospital quarantine. And the rate of recovery is gamma here. And we do take here the 2 different type of the death rate. That is the natural death rate mu1 and the death due to disease, that is COVID-19, is mu2 also. So we see the death of rate, both the deaths, natural and death due to disease, in I and Q2 class. So we have this stage 3. Good examples, what we can see in India is in Delhi, in Dharavi, in Mumbai, and some more places which is not yet reported. So we are at the verge. So, but this case has occurred in Italy and in states. So that's what we have taken into consider. The data has been taken from that specific place, and accordingly it has been simulated. For this particular, we have the system of ODE like this. And on the basis of this, we calculated the reproduction number. That was, and then we had used the geometrical approach, that is the Hopf bifurcation, to establish the global stability for these models, and then we had simulated it. So we try to show you some of the simulated graphs for R0 greater than 1, and what we have observed. So we see the global stability for R0 greater than 1. That is in stage 1. It is well established here. The system is stable for different type of the trajectories. And what we come to stage number 2. So in stage number 2, if we see that this quarantine person population versus the recovered population. So if we see this particular graph, then in 11.85 days, this particular zone. So if we are quarantining it ourselves, then after 11.85 days, the recovery starts. And almost after 21 days, that is this particular case, after 21 days, what we observe, the recovery rate is very, very high. So there's a sharp increase in the recovery in stage number 2. So the 14-day quarantine, as per the data what we have observed from India, and we have made a comparative assessment with the other part of the most infected countries, we did observe that after 11.85 days, the recovery is starting, this particular piece. So that was for R0 greater than 1, and obviously we had about home isolation versus the recovered population. The more we are going to home isolate ourselves, the infection is very less, and the recovery what we see is very, very high. So home isolation, this is scientifically also established. The more we isolate, the more is the recovery. And also when we see about this particular graph, that is the susceptible versus the infection class in the SI model, this reproduction number greater than 1, we have taken here the reproduction number as 2.85. So our system is very much stable in nature. So that was all. We have these that what I was telling you about 1965, about Tyrrell and Noy. They were the people who, in fact, first of all, found the first generation of coronavirus, which was published in Lancet in 1966. So this is a very good paper in which we get the entire biological part and the transmitting behavior of the first COVID generation. So thank you so much for listening me patiently. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Prasad sir, do you have any question?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible. So is there any question from BK Mishra, sir?
Yes, sir. How to calculate R0? Somebody asked how to calculate R0.
That is on Jacobian matrix we take into account, and already Professor Datti has explained, in detail what I found out in the last part of the lecture. That is Jacobian matrix. We have the negative eigenvalues, and as per that we find out this R0. However, for 6x6 matrix, it is very difficult to find out analytically. So MATLABs, etc., can be used to find out R0 very simply for these all.
Yes, sir. That's all, sir. That is the only question from one question I received here. And if you have any questions, you can ask, sir. Ashish Kumar, sir.
I request
sir,
Professor Datti to give us some advice on the future aspect of modeling this COVID-19, sir.
No, your talk was very good, and it explained lots of things, and you have done already a very good work. Very good work. My main question is how to incorporate different population into one locality. You know that you already done it. You have done it taking into account people came from abroad. But now how we track how many of those people in that population are infected or they are healthy. You know, that kind of data, we can add more compartments. There's no there is no problem with that. But how to get data? So that if we can manage, and maybe delay differential equations instead of ODE. We should look into delay differential equations.
Yes, sir.
Maybe they give a better picture. I mean, that's what I think.
What I feel that, sir, is that maybe that these epidemic models what we develop, already government has given a triple T scheme, but it is not effective. Triple T, that is testing, tracking and tracing. We have taken this into consideration, but the data is not available due to these immigrant laborers which are coming.
Yeah,
so that is a big issue. So what we can do on that. Therefore, we have already submitted another paper to CHAOS. We have used the deep
as
learning.
of now, treatment means quarantining or isolation, because there is no medicine or vaccine, right?
Right.
Obviously, the strategy will change once the vaccine comes into market. Then again, we have to incorporate in a different way.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
What I was telling that deep learning technique may be used. That is, artificial intelligence may be incorporated with these epidemic models, and the data, in fact, what we get from that will give us a good forecast. And also the different rates. So that is what we have done in our recent work.
As mathematicians, we will continue to do our job. Okay, I mean, if the parameters are like this, then that will happen. Certainly, we can forecast that. Numerical study is very difficult because we do not have a good, bounds for the what data you take, right? We should have a good. For that, maybe as you said, artificial intelligence can be used.
Yes, sir.
No, you want to run numerically, we need some numbers.
Sir.
We need some numbers, right?
That is only possible if we are able to get the data from Arogya Setu app, as far as the country of India is concerned.
That
may help us numerically.
Many doubts are raised about the data itself, right?
Right.
So we have to know, as Anuj was explaining, there is so much uncertainty.
Right, sir.
And demanding a good thing from mathematics is not fair when there is uncertainty in data, right? So, but we keep working. And hopefully you will have good data to finally validate. See, as Anuj was telling, we have to finally validate. That is the biggest challenge. Right?
Sir, one more question, sir. Can R not be calculated using Bayesian methods?
That if you go to statistical models. See here, this is a ODE model, right?
Yeah.
ODE model. So you just linearize around the disease-free equilibrium. And from the characteristic polynomial, you try to figure out the basic reproduction number. See, essentially, it's deciding the linearization, that matrix when it has eigenvalues with negative real parts, and at least one positive eigenvalue. So that will decide the basic reproduction number.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir,
So it
Ashish Kumar,
was,
sir.
it was very, very good. Very nicely arranged. My first
Thank you,
experience this online seminar. Now I'm very happy about this arrangement. It was really good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
It was really good. So,
thank you to Dr. Ashish and Dr. Prasad for
who managed it successfully.
Right, very successful webinar. So many congratulations to them.
Because we are sitting at different parts of the country and even world, and yet managed to exchange our ideas, and very good discussion. And I hope the participants also would have gained some knowledge. Very nice, very nice.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Ashish, sir, can you give just?
Yes, I request all participants to just to fill the Google form shared so that we can create certificates to them. So in question and answer section it is shared. So you just to fill up all the required names, emails, and their designation, everything, so that we can generate certificates. And thank you all, sir, for giving your valuable time to us. And it is nice to hear from all of you, and we gained so much of things, so that we can just in near future we can work in this epidemiology, because we have to just be ready for future challenges. And we have seen that how we can just go for mathematical model to understand the nature of epidemiology. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, thank you, Datti sir, and thank you, Bimal sir, for your wonderful lectures and enlightening us on this topic of modeling all these things.
A very good occasion. It is a very good occasion for us to show the power of differential equations. So ultimately, that's power of differential equations that comes into play.
Correctly,
Okay,
sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you all the participants for your participation. And now we are come to the end of this webinar. So have a nice time. Thank you. And we are ending the webinar. Thank you, one and all.
Thanks.
Thank you.